So we had a mass shooting that people are still calling a mass shooting, but it's not really a mass shooting, it's more of a terror attack. We had a terror attack a few days ago at a Pensacola naval base. A Saudi Arabian national killed at least 3 people. And the more information comes out about this, the more mind-boggling it is. So apparently, soon before the shooting, a day or so before the shooting, he gathered people around to watch mass shooting videos. Red flag numero uno. And then also apparently during the shooting, his Saudi buddies recorded his attack on their phones. Dude did a mass shooting, and his friends were casually recording it on their phones as he was doing it. Now, apparently these were Saudi nationals who were being trained in the U.S. Why were they being trained? How were they being trained? I mean, my guess is so that they could go and help continue the genocide in Yemen. I mean, this is like, it's stuff like this that keeps me awake at night, where you have like just this obvious moral atrocity and abomination happening right in front of your face, and like nobody cares. Nobody talks about it. So we're training Saudi pilots to go murder children in Yemen, and make no mistake about it, that is what they're doing. That is what they're doing. Report after report shows they're bombing hospitals, they're bombing schools, they're bombing open-air markets. Civilians all the time. With U.S. weapons, by the way. And nobody cares, nobody talks about it. Like, yeah, no, that's what we did. We have some Saudis here, and we train them to massacre babies, and then we go along on our merry way. Maybe we shouldn't do that, but now what you're seeing here is decades and decades of brainwashing into Salafi jihadism. This is the ideology at the helm of the Saudi Arabian government. This is the ideology. Wahhabism is what it's called. They say that's a pejorative if you call it Wahhabism. Okay, but Salafism, Salafi jihadism, that's what it is. Same difference. And this is what happens. They have radical mosques that they've built all over the place, and we've helped fund that radical ideology as they get massively oil wealthy too. And then, is anybody even surprised that a Saudi Arabian national just killed Americans and it was being recorded as he did it, and there were so many red flags that he was going to do it? Is anybody even surprised? I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all. But what you're about to see makes the story that much more intense, because the response from the U.S. government has been eye-opening. Your jaw should hit the ground when you hear what happened next. So first, Trump goes on Twitter and he immediately says positive things about the Saudi Arabian government in the wake of Saudi nationals murdering Americans. First thing he does, I spoke to Mohammed bin Salman, and he says, oh my God, I'm so sorry, and he's going to do everything he can to fix this problem. I want you to stop for a second and think if it was an Iranian national who did this. What would Trump say? He'd be calling for war with Iran. That's what he would be doing. Now, I'm not in favor of war with Iran, but the response would be angry and aggressive, and the response would be, see, we told you, number one state sponsor of terror. Here we have an instance where the actual number one state sponsor of terror has a situation like this, and he's got nothing but positive things to say. Could it be because the Saudi government is paying him hundreds of thousands of dollars on a regular basis through his hotels? No. Could it be because he registered about 10 new businesses in Saudi Arabia when he was on the campaign trail? No. Can it be because we have weapons deals for the military-industrial complex where they're buying billions and billions of dollars in weapons? No. Couldn't be that either. So what happened? Donald Trump used to say Saudi Arabia did 9/11, they're terrible. Now all of a sudden he's a cuck to Saudi Arabia. But it gets worse. Look at what the defense secretary said about this whole issue.
I also was told that some 1 or 2 were filming it. What's unclear is, were they filming it before it began, or was it something where they picked up their phones and filmed it once they saw it unfolding? That may be a distinction with or without a difference, but again, that's why I think we need to let the investigation play out.
But I mean, that would not be a normal response to film one of your colleagues who's shooting Americans.
I don't know. I'm not trying to pass a judgment on it at this point in time. You know, today people pull out their phones and film everything and anything that happens.
Are you kidding? He's trying to make you believe maybe they were innocently recording the mass shooting. If a mass shooting is happening, you know what you do if you're not part of it? Run. You run, you run, you run, you don't look back, you run like your life depends on it because it does. That's what you do. You don't record it. He knows that. They know that. Why are they covering for the Saudi government? It's an alliance made in hell. They're covering for a Saudi terror attack. They're covering for it. Because business as usual is just that important to them. It matters more than American lives. If this was something that happened under the Obama administration and his defense secretary said that, the Republicans would literally never shut up about it. And they would say, this is radical Islamist apologism. Why are you being an apologist for radical Islamic terrorism? Apparently that terrorism is okay when it's our buddy that carries it out. When it's our buddy that's responsible. So don't give me this nonsense about like, oh yeah, the war on terror, we're really trying to defeat this ideology. No, we're not. We use that ideology when it's beneficial to us. That's what we did against the Soviet Union in Afghanistan. That's what we do now in Syria. And yet again, we have another instance where our unholy alliance is coming back to bite us.